The United States and Pakistan have called each other allies but behind the word ally lies a relationship built on illusions. This is not a story of friendship, this is a story of dependency, deception, and misunderstanding.
President Trump, who is genuinely a man of peace.
The United States has conducted an operation that killed Osama bin Laden.
Hundreds of lawyers protesting in Pakistan, attending special prayers for Osama bin Laden.
Do you know of any other terrorist leaders wanted by the United States that are sheltering in your country?
Well, there may be more. There may be. Yes.
In 1947, Pakistan was born out of one of the most violent partitions in human history. Millions displaced, hundreds of thousands dead, and a new country unsure of what it actually was. A country that was born out of fear and economically and militarily weaker than India. No one had clearly defined what Pakistan was supposed to be. Not even its founder Jinnah. Was Pakistan a secular state for Muslims, an Islamic state governed by religion? The answer was all of these and none clearly. And this has become a structural weakness. During the independence movement, the Muslim League leaders used Islamic identity to mobilize Muslims. But many of these leaders, including Jinnah, were personally secular and westernized. After independence, this created tension. Religious groups demanded an Islamic state. Political elites wanted a modern nation state. As seen from Three Quote of Jinnah, he tried to resolve this by saying religion should be a private matter. But this vision didn't take root. Instead, Pakistan gradually leaned toward defining itself through Islamic ideology. Almost immediately after independence, Pakistan was drawn into conflict with India over Kashmir and Afghanistan over the Durand Line. Due to these concerns, Pakistan quickly became a security-focused state. This meant military gained influence early, civilian institutions remained weak, national identity became tied to security threats, and this identity of Pakistan defined their relationship with the US going forward. Muhammad Ali Jinnah, Pakistan's founder, projected enormous confidence about his country's strategic importance. He famously told an American journalist that Pakistan was the pivot of the world, implying that its location near the Soviet Union would make it indispensable to the United States. Little did he know that his dream was going to get fulfilled. By the early 1950s, the global situation had transformed. The United States was now deeply engaged in the Cold War against the Soviet Union, and its foreign policy shifted toward building alliances to contain communism. Suddenly, Pakistan mattered. This is the moment Pakistan had been waiting for. Pakistan's geography, previously ignored, became valuable, close to the Soviet Union, near the Middle East, positioned between Central and South Asia. While Pakistan saw this as a chance to get security against India, US saw this as a useful base against communism. Pakistan made a calculated decision. It needed weapons, economic aid, and international backing. But most importantly, it needed military parity and protection against India. However, Pakistan cleverly framed its alliance with USA as fighting communism and supporting Western security in these areas. Pakistan formally joined US-led alliances, SEATO Southeast Asia Treaty Organization, CENTO Central Treaty Organization. The USA gave significant support, military and economic support to Pakistan. Mutual Defense Treaty signed in May 1954. US Military Assistance Advisory Group was also established in Rawalpindi, then capital of Pakistan. Pakistani officers were not only trained in military tactics, but also taught leadership, management, and economic theory. While the United States believed it was building a dependable partner in the fight against communism, Pakistan was using the relationship to enhance its regional position. But for Pakistan, this alliance was never just about communism. It was a calculated move to strengthen itself against India, its primary rival. What emerged was not a partnership based on shared objectives, but a transactional arrangement sustained by mutual convenience and persistent misunderstanding. When war broke out between India and Pakistan in 1965, Pakistan expected huge support from the USA, but the US response shocked Pakistan. It refused to support Pakistan militarily. It imposed an arms embargo on both India and Pakistan. From the American perspective, the priority was containment of conflict, not choosing sides from Pakistan's perspective. This was a betrayal. This creates a deep sense of strategic insecurity, distrust of US commitments. Pakistan realizes the alliance is conditional, not guaranteed. And so Pakistan made a decision: never depend on one power again. It diversified its alliances and began building closer ties with China. This marked a significant shift in Pakistan's foreign policy, from dependence on a single patron to balancing multiple powers. The relationship between the United States and Pakistan did not end, but it changed in character. Trust diminished, expectations became more cautious, and both sides continued their engagement with a clearer understanding of each other's limitations. The crisis of 1971 marked the most profound turning point in Pakistan's history. Unlike earlier conflicts driven by external threats, this crisis emerged from within. The political and economic imbalance between East and West Pakistan led to growing resentment, which eventually erupted into civil war when democratic processes were denied. What followed? Mass protests, military crackdown in East Pakistan, large-scale violence. As violence escalated, millions of refugees fled India, which resulted in the Indo-Pakistan War of 1971. And once again, Pakistan looked towards USA. Although the United States offered diplomatic backing and provided economic weapon support to Pakistan, it stopped short of military intervention. The USA did not want a direct war with India, which had very close ties with Soviet Union in 1971. And also US was heavily involved in the Vietnam War. The US side, this showed that Pakistan was never a core strategic priority. The result was devastating. East Pakistan broke away to become Bangladesh, marking the disintegration of the country just 24 years after its creation. This event shattered any remaining belief that external alliances could guarantee national survival. Yet, despite this profound lesson, Pakistan's fundamental strategic outlook remained largely unchanged. After the 1971 disaster, Pakistan was politically unstable. This instability eventually led to military rule under General Zia-ul-Haq. Zia understood something very clearly: Pakistan needs the United States but cannot fully align with it. So instead of choosing alignment or opposition, he chose strategic deception. After losing half the country in 1971, Pakistan became obsessed with security and survival. The leadership concluded conventional military strength is not enough. Pakistan needs a nuclear deterrent. So Pakistan began developing nuclear weapons. But here's the problem: the United States strongly opposed nuclear proliferation. Continued US aid depended on Pakistan not going nuclear. Jazia's solution was simple but powerful: we will continue taking American aid while secretly building nuclear weapons. This required denial, misdirection, diplomatic balancing. Pakistan repeatedly assured the US, we are not pursuing nuclear weapons. Meanwhile, the program continued quietly, infrastructure and capabilities expanded using USA aid. The United States had intelligence reports, strong suspicions. It knew Pakistan was likely developing nuclear weapons, but something bigger happened. The Soviet Union invaded Afghanistan in 1979. Now everything changed. The Soviet invasion made Pakistan suddenly extremely valuable to the United States. Pakistan became the frontline state, the operational base for anti-Soviet efforts. The US used Pakistan to train fighters, Mujahideen fighters, channel weapons and funding, support intelligence operations. So the US made a strategic decision: ignore Pakistan's nuclear program for now. What emerged was a relationship defined not just by mutual interest but by mutual pretense. This period also saw the rise of Islamist narratives and militant networks within Pakistan, which were encouraged as part of the Afghan jihad trained by the Pakistani ISI. In the short term, Pakistan gained massive US aid, its military and intelligence capabilities grew, the Soviet Union was weakened. But in the long term, militant networks became entrenched, extremism increased, state control over these groups weakened. The strategy solved immediate problems but created future ones. The events of September 11, 2001 forced Pakistan into a difficult strategic position. Faced with intense pressure from the United States, Pakistan officially aligned itself with the global war on terror, providing logistical support, intelligence cooperation, and access to its territory. In return, it received substantial financial and military assistance. However, beneath this cooperation lay a more complex reality. Pakistan's security establishment continued to maintain relationships with certain militant groups, particularly those it viewed as essential for preserving its influence in Afghanistan. This dual approach allowed Pakistan to support the United States in the short term while safeguarding its long term strategic interests. As evidence of these contradictions accumulated, American frustration grew. The discovery of Osama bin Laden on Pakistani soil further intensified doubts about Pakistan's reliability as an ally. Despite repeated denials, the perception of a double game became deeply entrenched. By this stage, the relationship between the United States and Pakistan had become deeply strained. Cooperation persisted, but trust had largely disappeared, leaving behind a partnership defined by necessity rather than confidence. In April 2026, Donald Trump praised Pakistan for hosting high level talks between the US and Iran in Islamabad for ceasefire. The same US president who accused Pakistan of providing safe havens to terrorists announced cancelling a $300 million disbursement to Pakistan, citing the country's failure to take strong actions against Afghan Taliban militants. At the heart of this disconnect lies a fundamental misalignment of objectives. The United States approaches the relationship with global strategic concerns, while Pakistan remains focused on regional security and its rivalry with India. Neither side fully accepts the other's perspective, and both continue to operate under assumptions that have repeatedly proven flawed. As a result, the relationship persists not because it has resolved its contradictions, but because both countries continue to find it necessary. The illusions that have defined the interactions remain intact, ensuring that the cycle of cooperation and disappointment is likely to continue.